Well, I guess I have to do it again. But if that's the case, then so be it. So in today's video, I will be going over yet again about what is fascism and what is right wing and what is left wing. First, I would like to say to the communists and socialists and any pretty much left wing person, I guess, who uses the old French system of political spectrum, well, that's outdated. The terms have changed. No one uses these outdated definitions. If you talk to a regular person on the street, they will not say someone who's for free market capitalism is a centrist. They will not call a libertarian a centrist. They will probably say they're on somewhere on the right, perhaps between conservative and far right. They will probably say something like that. And for those who are the weird communists in Britain who think conservatives are far right, they will also think that is ridiculous. So if you're using the French system in some way to mean that conservatives are far right, or that libertarians are centrists, or whatever it be, by using the French system, it's outdated. It's not useful today. The only people who really use it are you communists/socialists and some academics. Let's first look at fascism in Italy. To start, Mussolini, who implemented fascism, called for the confiscation of war profits, confiscation of church property, heavy inheritance and income taxes, nationalization of arms, and control of factories, railroads, public service by workers' councils. None of that is capitalist. None of that is free market, or even moderately free market. That has more in common with socialism/communism. Here are the 8 points of fascism. Number 1. In which the government acknowledges no restraint upon its powers. So, totalitarianism. Number 2. In which this unrestrained government is managed by a dictator. Number 3. In which government is organized to operate the capitalist system and enable it to function under an immense bureaucracy. Number 4. In which the economic society is organized on the syndicalist model, that is, producing groups formed into craft and professional categories under supervision of the state. Number 5, in which the government and the syndicalist organizations operate the capitalist society on the planned autarchical principle. Number 6, in which the government holds itself responsible to provide the nation with adequate purchasing power by public spending and borrowing. Number 7, in which militarism is used as a conscious mechanism of government spending. And number 8, in which imperialism is included as a policy inevitable flowing from militarism as well as other elements of fascism. But as you can see by some of these steps, they are in a sense a planned economy. Not quite the same like socialism/communism, but they have some similarities. They're like distant cousins. What Mussolini was doing was that he was following Lenin's example of establishing a state-driven economy. They also bailed out failing businesses and seized the stock holdings of banks. Heck, even Mussolini admitted that fascism has its roots in socialism. Nazism, which is just another form of fascism. But I'll be going over why it's another form of fascism. What Nazi Germany had was not private ownership. The supposed owners were more like managers of the shops. They were told what to buy, what to sell, who to hire. They had contract debts and pay interest and amortization, they were bound to unconditionally listen to the government Supreme Office of Productions Management. They were told how to produce and what to set their prices at and to who to buy from and who to sell to. None of that is free market capitalism. I will admit that the United States has some corporatist parts mixed in it, but it is far from fascism or a highly regulated economy. So, yet again, Nazism, as I have said, is fascism, and fascism is not right-wing. At best, it is probably center-left. A country like the United States is a moderately right-wing country. We have a lot of capitalism, but we're still highly regulated in many industries. And it can also depend on which state you're in. If all the states were like Florida or New Hampshire, then we probably would be much freer. The old way of how the French viewed right and left is not used anymore. As you know, during the late 1700s, the French termed left, meaning the anti-monarchy, and the right, pro-monarchy. That view of the political spectrum is outdated. Today, it's based on economics. The system of democracy and monarchy are not what it's based on anymore. Terms change. Today, the modern political compass or political spectrum is based on the left and right economics. The left side of the economic scale being for more control of the economy, control of businesses, while the right is more for freedom of business and freedom of the economy. Now, you can't base it solely on a left or right. That's why we also have the authoritarian and libertarian line coming right across through the left and right line. That line signifies the authoritarianism and libertarianism side. So on this modern version of the political spectrum, fascism would at least be center-left. On your old system, you probably have an argument to say that it's right-wing, but no one uses that system anymore. In the modern system, it is left-wing. This is because fascism wants control of the economy similar to that of communism/socialism. Now, can a monarchy be right-wing? Yes, they can. However, we don't really have, I think, that many right-wing monarchies. Many monarchies in general today, except for the figureheads. But is there such thing as a right-wing authoritarianism? Yes, but there aren't that many of them. So, just to summarize these points, the French system is outdated. The terms of left and right have changed. So drop your books and look at reality. Now for you ANCAPs and right-wing anarchists. Now, not all of you are like this, but a large number of you are, thinking that you aren't right-wing, thinking that you're somehow above the political spectrum. Listen, sweetie, no one's above it. The modern-day political spectrum describes libertarianism, authoritarianism, left and right, economics. You're on it. You're not above it. If you want to use your political triangle to describe philosophy, fine, but that's not a political spectrum, that's a philosophical spectrum. And even on that, you're on the right. So, to summarize all of what I said, the political spectrum is no longer based on the French version. It is a modern version in which it focuses on economics and authoritarianism and libertarianism, in which economics is used to describe the left or right side, and then a authoritarianism/libertarianism line goes right down the middle through that. That is the modern view of the political spectrum. And for that modern definition, fascism falls onto the left side of the economic scale, the left side of the modern political spectrum. And this is because fascism, as I have said earlier in this video, wants greater control of the economy. Not to the same extent as communism/socialism, but to a very great extent. Fascism is not capitalist at all. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully I will not have to do this ever again because this is getting so tiring. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, share it, comment down below and tell me what you thought. And I'll see y'all later. I need a break.